Let's just do this now.
I don't eat cheese.
You don't. No, you don't. Let's.
Just wanted you guys to know.
You kind of sounded like Hannah B on The Bachelor this week. This season of The Bachelor.
I have that actually in my notes here, but
batch talk.
But there's a lot of drama on the Bachelor. Nothing compared to Wednesday's show. A lot went down on Wednesday. Fans were furious that we didn't talk about it yesterday. Absolutely furious.
Is that true?
So furious so that Wendy slacked me. You're a popular topic in the live chat, and I was so excited to not look at that live chat.
Why would
Wait,
you?
so what are you talking about?
Well,
Fans are
yesterday,
furious. How do we know?
We didn't talk about it yesterday, right, on the show, because why would we? He
true.
wasn't here. I said I don't want to talk about it if Makuga's not here, and people automatically thought, oh, well, they fired Makuga.
Yeah.
Everyone thought we fired you.
Well, it only lasted a day.
I know this. I've known this man for 7 years now. Not going to fire him. First of all, for a conversation that we had openly on the air. And that was the other thing. I couldn't disagree with the people more. They were just like, this should have been something done in a production meeting. No. It was fun. It was fun to do it. It was
Oh, yeah, real hoot.
It was fun. It was fun. And I'm glad. I'll tell you why. Because we had a good...
Master thought it was fun.
It really ruined the rapport, though, between all of us.
That's what I mean.
It really
it
fucked
made
us
it
up.
how much... I could tell within the first 15 minutes how much stronger this made us. 15 minutes into this thing, just look at all the jokes. We had the conversations afterwards that you don't see. Those are the conversations that we talk about it. We say, okay, how do we go further?
Roxy and I went out to lunch and then did a show an hour
You know
later.
what's crazy, though?
No, that was pre-tape, dude.
So,
that was pre-tape.
So we did...
Is that what they were saying?
Of course
Did you not read the comments? So Josh and I do a weekly show
No,
called
I told him to stay
Hypothetical...
away from the comments.
Everybody knows more
Hypothetical-
than what's going on than we do.
Hypothetical questions with Josh and Roxy,
Hashtag
and
it.
we taped it an hour and a half after we did
yeah.
the show. And first of all,
was an awesome
thank you so
show.
much for all the views. We got 10 times the views that we've
Oh,
ever
normally?
gotten.
Oh, because people want to see? That's my
Thank you
point.
so much.
That's what I don't understand. But I'm
Which is
telling
amazing.
people out there.
Every single comment was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good. Ooh, they're gonna get into
We didn't
it,"
fight.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
And then people were starting to be like, "Oh, bummer, they pre-taped it because they're not even talking about it."
No.
It's a pre-tape.
Or how about this?
But they're wearing the same clothes.
Right. Or we had amazing conversations afterwards. Everybody talked about what had happened because this is the thing about Makuga. He knows what I've been going for with this show forever. And the thing was, he got mad, he got pissed off, he went outside, and I said to him, I said, do you want to talk about it in the air? And without hesitation, he said, yes. Because he knows what it is. It's like if you bring something up on the air, and it happens, whatever organically, hashtag that's the show, then we're going to do it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to figure it out. And everybody, I can tell you right now, we left the show. Brett's like, I'm done. Roxy's like, what the hell's going on? But Kuga's like, I don't understand what we're doing anymore. And then we talked about it. People are yelling at me out there.
Nobody was yelling at you. Everybody was yelling at me.
I'm with Roxy on this one.
No, I wasn't going to do it. But I wasn't going to do it in the
No,
middle.
you didn't raise your voice.
No.
Christian.
Right.
You
Took off in my
did
office.
a Christian and went right to his office.
Why would I go in the middle?
Who was yelling at you?
I had conversations afterwards in my office about people saying certain things, and here's
Which was the political thing to do, and it was the smarter thing to do. Instead of having people that shouldn't be yelling at people and ambush you.
I have no office.
Yeah, well, I know you got
Neither do we.
You got ambushed. And you shouldn't have.
We don't.
You
We
got
have
ambushed.
we have a spot.
What did I tell you though when you came into my office? I said, "What the hell are you doing out there? Get the hell out of there!" You're like,
I didn't know.
No,
I didn't
you
know.
were getting yelled at by people that had no business yelling at you.
Brett took
Correct.
off because Brett and I are getting yelled at. Brett's like,
I went over to talk to somebody about the footage I shot. Like, I go, hey, did I mess up the footage?
Don't say who.
And I know I didn't say it. I'm not saying a name.
Yeah.
And I go, and it was like, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, you're not talking about the footage, are you?
Right.
You're talking about
I went
this
over just
show.
to talk to Josh about hypothetical questions.
Right. This is the bottom line. This is what I told you. This is what I told you. This is what I told you. And this is what I will tell the audience. There's only one person besides myself that can say that was ridiculous. That was over the line. No, don't do that. And that's Mark Fernandez.
Right.
Guess who didn't say that? Mark Fernandez. He listened to the show, said, "Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Do what you're doing." He trusts me to do this show.
It was wild, though. It was wild. And then, like, what was crazy
You know what's
that...
wild? Is that people have now been trolling me, calling me the mild man, and that like
That's good.
it's pretty good.
All right,
I mean,
good.
people have
Mild
been
Mary.
saying that for a while. Like when
you got married.
When I got married,
Yeah.
I became the mild man.
I like
when I
the mild
changed
man.
Between the Sheets of the Josh and Cougar show,
That's
and they're like,
good.
for a guy that hosted a show called Between the Sheets, for him not to let that slide. I'm like, the show wasn't called the Suck My Dick Show. It wasn't called that. It also wasn't called the Suck My Pussy Show. It wasn't called any of that. Okay? okay?
It is
It
now.
wasn't like, hey guys, welcome to Suck My Dick with
Well,
Josh
but I gotta
Macuga.
tell you,
It wasn't.
I gotta tell you though, both of those.
No, Brett.
No, Brett.
No, Brett. No. But I got to tell you, that is so many people, and I'm not going to do it. So many people are like, that should be the new shirt, Harloff. No, Brett.
Yeah, if I got a shirt, that
Hashtag
I would
SM.
I would wear one that said
I know
SMD.
you would. SMD.
100%. But here's the other thing that people need to understand. Like, you guys are all my co-hosts and peers.
Yeah.
Like, you guys can't. There's nothing you can. Anybody in this room can say to me that's gonna. You have equal, if not more, voice. So
Right.
I don't. But that's why it was weird when Brett and I went outside and people who aren't
Not part of the show.
aren't doing the show just start yelling at you, and it was like, what?
Well, that's what I told you guys. You like at that point you
It's just
just
a
and I said
carnival
this,
beta fish.
I said the same thing. I said that's when you walk away.
Yeah, I
at
Homer
that point.
Simpson through the hedges on that.
There's
one.
no
But
no
it
reason.
went everywhere.
because
like
my-
every job I had this week brought this show up to me. It was wild.
So, this is what I'm
Like,
saying. But that's my point. That's my point is that this is what we do differently from all the other shows, and not just that particular conversation. We are the way we are. Normally, we'd be sitting around at a restaurant shooting shit.
That old Hitler house over here.
I'm not going over there. But
Oh, I
shoot.
told you I went back there.
Did you? Did you
Yeah.
run? Hold it. But shoot. They just shooting the shit, and that happens here. And so that's when I tell people like they were right. Oh, it should have happened off air. No, if something starts to happen, we're having conversations that you want us. This is what Collider Live is. Collider Live is about seeing those personalities. Because you can hear us talk about movies, and we'll talk about them later on in the show. We'll talk about, there's one guy right now going, where's the Bumblebee conversation? It'll happen soon.
Even on the last show where all of this happened on the Wednesday show, there was 15 comments in there being like, are they going to talk about Aquaman yet?
But you know what? I go back and I look at the live chat sometimes too, and the hardcore audience now is locked in because there's some guy yesterday just like, well, look at this. They're 30 minutes into it, and not one mention of the Oscars, not one. and the audience that was going, hashtag that's the show, light them up, and now it's like you only
I
it's
kind
just
of
so
feel
long.
bad for those kids.
Not anymore.
And here's the thing:
No.
is I got a
Throw
ton,
them to
not
the
at
wolves.
all.
Throw them to
No,
the
no,
wolves.
not
I
at
got
all.
a ton of tweets that were supportive of things, and I was
Right.
like, guys, it's not about being supportive. Legitimately, we had a disagreement on the show, and then the trolls that come out and be like, remember when you used to tell jokes? I'm like, I'm gonna come through this effing Twitter machine and rip your face off.
Mild Man is
pretty
actually
funny.
clever.
Listen, I think that there should be a shirt or some
Mild
sort
Man.
like, hey, welcome to Mild Man. I'm like, hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Mild Man show.
the
The
truth.
Mild Berries, it's just Elliot and I in suits and ties, and we walk in, briefcase.
and then at the
I took
end,
offense-
like your wife comes and brings you
Yeah.
like your
See?
supper. Or
No,
something.
the offense that I took
Yeah.
was when people were going after you and they said, why don't you and get rid of that Danish Christian Harloff and be gone forever? And it's like, how
What?
dare
How
you?
dare you?
How dare you? How dare you go after
That
Danish?
is a very terrible idea.